Finally, we get to see Jace here in the LCK.
I'm really sad. There were so many things it could have been, and then it was just, nah, never mind.
I like this pick, and I think it is stronger than people give it credit for, despite the durability changes. When you're playing a draft like this, too, where you have so much range with Senna, and you can oppressively kind of push your way towards Liiv Sandbox while damaging them from a distance and also healing up and sustaining, and you're slowly getting towards the objective, you're creeping through. Liiv Sandbox can't pick you very easily because they have an Ahri that's going to be playing into the Tomcat.
Let's get it. Okay, here we go. Fan chance.
There we go.
He was actually practicing. He was, because you could hear his voice was a bit hoarse.
Yeah.
And he was really charging that one up for quite some time. So here we are, onto the Rift. We did it. We made it. No one has items yet. Absolutely fantastic. That's still updating. Very, very cool. So, Liiv Sandbox. Let's just refresh our memories, because it's been a long time since we've even seen these drafts. They have the Eclectic Blind Fiora, which is a choice you can make. Not necessarily my personal favorite.
Yeah.
But it might be okay this game.
I mean, it has some power if it's empowered by Croco. Like, if he gets up there and has some successful ganks, then you can find yourself in a really nice winning position. Notice how much respect Zeus has already shown with a ward there. Like, I'm just making sure they're not all party bushing me to get a kill early, because if Dove gets a lead, then Zeus, basically, his lane becomes unplayable, and he falls far behind, and that's when Jace is worthless. In the LCK, we usually only pick Jace as a counter pick, so he very rarely ever falls behind or loses lane. So as long as Zeus is safe here, and I mean, look, Zeus is one of the best Jace players in the world, so I think he knows what he's doing here, but if he plays this slowly, it's just going to be another range issue that Liiv Sandbox will have to deal with later on.
Yeah, I think that Fiora ultimately should win in the end, right? But it's just how far behind he falls trying to get to that position.
Yeah, in side lanes, 100%, eventually she starts to threaten him and he can't do anything.
But I think that's just the story about Fiora and has been forever. Of course, tier lists around the traps, she is certainly sneaking up there these days in a pretty good spot at this point in time. Of course, having the ability to throw down the Grand Challenge and then do max health damage does make some sense now that people have gotten beefier.
And the longer the team fight goes, Fiora actually ends up being, sometimes relevant, because she can make a larger impact if she has a nice flank angle and can actually get that Grand Challenge off instead of like, I'm going in on CC 7.
We have to remember as well that Owner is on his iconic Lee Sin. Come down to look to steal this one away, but isn't able to.
He was like, maybe I Sonic Wave steal this actually, let's go for it.
Nice little charm there onto Faker. As, the Ring of Frost also dodged out of the way off. Claw going to have to come in as Lissandra 4-0 against the Ahri, but didn't necessarily look like that was the case in that last little passage of play. Dove does have Riposte available. Azaius probably thinking about all-inning this one. Okay, Croco going to decide to go towards Ono. Don't know whether that was the right choice as the Empowered Shock Blast comes in. Closer had even teleported over, and that safeguard made sure that T1 was absolutely fine.
Oh my god, he almost dies.
Yeah.
If Zeus actually gets a lineup.
I think Riposte was up, so I think Dove, like, if he was actually in line to get a hit, then he would have. But he was playing with fire, 100%. And Owner here for a moment, but Owner is going to be able to take at least a couple of the little wolves. Faker claws his way out. Now, how is the Lee Sin supposed to get out of this one is the question. Riposte comes down, good charm lands from Closer, and Owner's still going to flash and try and safeguard out, but it's not going to be enough. And First Blood goes over to Croco.
He's so close to Faker, who has ult. I mean, that was so close. He's going to have to claw his way. I don't know what the cooldown is.
He really does want to claw, but doesn't quite have it available. Circle of Frost is fantastic. He's also got a Blast Cone, and man, Faker did not want to flash.
Yeah, he really didn't. He gets the claw up. Zeus is like, guys, I mean, I'm just trying to get advantages up here. Like, could have just walked away. I didn't want to come do this. I don't have teleport, and almost makes it, but not quite.
Yeah, Closer also flashed. Zeus. Okay, I've seen this one before, as Dove's going to get booped back. There's the flash out from Zeus. And even able to get a bit of damage over the wall there as the ward is down for Liiv Sandbox. And Owner is going to park himself on it. Dove sitting at 200 health. It's the charge up, but Croco is not going to be able to find any joy.
It feels like this is one of those games where T1 actually are just going to enjoy themselves. So like, we have the better draft. We're going to sit in your jungle. We're going to make your lives miserable. And even though T1 are down a kill and Owner died there, they're up on gold. Just the T1 things, because it's this bot.
Prince also might straight up be dead, as Carrier's just tanking the turret. He doesn't care at all. He's ahead in farm by like 2 waves, Wolf. What the heck's going on? As Faker is looking for Dove. He's waiting for the repose, but Zeus is easily going to be able to take that kill. Faker, of course, can go untargetable, and so the dive is so simple. And T1 answer all of that first blood that Liiv Sandbox are able to pick up.
So you mean the Jace is getting ahead here in a winning matchup, 14 CS up, a kill and an assist under his belt, 8 minutes as Rift Herald spawns? Is that what you're telling me, Atlas?
That's what I think I was doing.
Yeah, I just had to make sure that I was reading the game as correctly as you and I did in the draft, and
this one is all going according to plan.
Yeah.
If this was a
to start this, so like he could have gotten so much more value. Teleport here at the bottom.
Zayas is going to get picked off. Is now Dove. Grand challenge does come on forward. Dawning Shadow keeps Zayas alive for so long that he manages to take down the Vi. Now, can Dove actually fight this out is the question, and Carrier says absolutely not. Q will connect. True Shot Barrage sails by majestically, but isn't going to actually do anything as Gumushi slinks into the mist, and he will be alive as well. T1 going to win yet another fight, and then just take the Rift Herald.
I mean, that was just straight up hands diff. I mean, they showed so much mechanical skill in this exchange. The shielding coming through there from Owner, as well as the Dawning Shadows coming through on Gumayusi to make sure that it's as difficult as possible to kill Zayas being focused down. Faker teleported bottom right before they pulled the trigger.
Ooh, that went down to 1 health, but not able to get in range was Croco. Also not able to hit the Q, so the escape from Owner, very comfortable. Some shellfish is the consolation prize here for Croco.
I'm gonna say, stacks though.
Yeah.
2 stacks on the ground there, but what a team fight. Prince isn't getting value on the bottom.
All right, decent counter gank timing here for Croco, but he's unable to actually find the Q flash, and Croco's just going to die. Gumushi now underneath this turret, and T1 are looking to grab some plates up here. This game really is starting to turn into, you know, purchasing some crockery for your new kitchen. As Faker's going to get charmed, not hit by the Orb of Deception true damage though, as that Q is going to connect, and he's just fighting against Closer. There's a full minion wave there as well, but T1, they deal with this turret, and Shelly's going to look for another charge here on the inner.
We'll get it. And this has been a very common playstyle here in the LCK for the Senna, where you just roam around the map with your top laner, with your mid laner, depending on where you have control, because you will be able to get stacks anywhere.
By the way, that's like 6 points so many times that these True Shot barrages just straight between the posts.
It's really unfortunate. Now, Croco is going to be able to try to trade this for a Drake. He has a control ward set up here, so they don't know that he's doing this. They have bought Prio because Tom Kench has been down there alone. But it's very common to do this because the Tom Kench starts to get levels. He has gold, and Gumayusi is going to be getting gold and stacks wherever he is. So you leave the Kench alone, he can weak side extremely well. He gets more items, he's getting more experience. And yeah, he's 3 stacks early here for Faker on this Dark Seal. He is getting some value out of it. They're just going to swap the 3-man to the bottom side. Uh-oh.
Well, Owner messed that one up. KO was just a little bit on the wrong side of the Lee Sin.
Zoning kick.
Yeah, he was trying to deliver that one over to Faker so he could finally use his ultimate. Bit of an itchy trigger finger on that one. This Q's getting charged there. Croco looking for an opportunity. Decent little snare to come through from Gumushi.
I love how T1 have just decided Carrier will weak side their 3-man turret destruction team. Yeah, like this is a demolition crew down here. They're like, oh, our wave has arrived and we will kill the turret. And if you are anywhere near it, you will die next. So Prince is like, yeah, I'm out of here. Yep. And Carrier's like, I'm beating a Fiora in a side lane. I'm over here on Tom Kench beating a Fiora in a side lane. Say, well, watch me, thank you, Observer. I'm down a level. I'm winning in the side lane against the Fiora. Like,
all right, let's see who's going to be able to win this one. As the Abyssal Dive gets Carrier out of there, so we're not going to find out.
Carrier's like, I told you guys it's viable top. I mean, that's not my rule, and Zayas is the best top player in the LCK, so what am I to say? But, you know, I just thought maybe we could play some catfish up against the Fiora.
If Zayas wasn't so good, Carrier may have just asked for a role swap, you know?
Maybe that's what the swap bug was really all about.
Carrier actually just, like, got out of his chair, and he's like, guys, it's my time.
Zayas,
like,
I know you're the rookie, you're the Magne, you're going to have to play support Jace bottom lane with the Senna. I'm going to have to request it. There was some infighting, we had a long pause, and I guess Zayas got to play top after all. Alternate history here at the LCK.
Ooh, we are setting up for a gank rush. As Owner might take the bait. Ooh, was a little bit frightening there. As,
he's like, Faker, check it? Ah, thanks, Faker.
Bloom.
Always scry those.
Oh, they can't eat. Oh, no.
Thanks,
the
Faker.
answers are everywhere. I kind of thought that was going to work because T1 were playing pretty fast and loose. Now might be there. Oh.
They're just luckier than you two, you know? It's just, it's not fair.
Was Bono lucky?
Bono.
I don't know, you said you two. I had to make the joke as Closer's ulting. There's the Abyssal Dive, though, as Carrier is just going to lick Closer. So he presses his ultimate button and then gets tongue-lashed, and that's the end of that chapter. Faker now will find Croco, or has Croco found Faker? No, Faker has found Croco. The Everfrost comes down. There's the Frozen Tomb. That Q is pretty comfy, and Ona will help pick that one up for Faker.
Oof. That's a head-scratcher right there.
Yeah.
I mean, quite literally, Croco was just a little bit lost on that one and got totally punished. I mean, he's 2 levels down on Faker. It's not going to work out.
Well, Carrier's going to get his fin shook. He's, of course, a catfish. He's going to eat that gray health, so
walk it out.
Fine. Yep. Nom nom. Back up to 50%. No worries there at all. Ona and Faker are going to take down this inner turret. And, yeah, it's a 7,000 gold lead. 7-2 in kills. It's almost Baron time. And yeah, Liiv SANDBOX look like they barely even really connected to this game. It's just been the T1 show. Getting some flashbacks, of course, doesn't work every single time, but in this particular game, it was the answer that they were looking for. I love the flexibility of this composition from T1, just with the fact that you have Carrier as like a side lane tank if you want it, right? It's just pretty cute.
Yeah, he's like, I can put your weak side wherever you want it.
Yeah.
Where you want it, Chief.
Well, here's the Abyssal Dive, as Carrier is going to look to start this fight. Grand Challenge has been issued now, and Dove says, no, I don't think I really want that one, as that's going to be another charge here for Shirley. She'll be taken down in the end. T1 get exactly what they want, though, as Croco wants round 2, not able to get the punch off. And Faker just claws his way out.
He didn't know where Closer was, so playing it safe. As, yeah, those hit pretty hard.
Yeah. Nice little shield to be set up there from Kale, just to make sure he takes as little damage as possible. But this tower is not long for the world, as Faker's going to... there it is! There's the flash ulti we were looking for, as Kale throws down his ult as well. Ona and Faker are going to do some infighting for a moment. But doesn't really result in anything whatsoever. It's play fighting here on T1's side. And Liiv SANDBOX.
This is just gross, man. I'm a bit speechless.
Breaker? No.
The Dom1 series made me really rethink how excited we were for Prince and Liiv SANDBOX, because they had that one great series against
SANDBOX probably feeling like they've been fighting uphill since this series started, right?
Yeah, and they would be right.
Zeus has done a fair bit damage this game.
He's done a lot. It's big.
Okay, I was going to have to flash away from Faker here. Faker doesn't actually have his flash available, as the Baron has continued to be leashed here. T1 still haven't dealt with all of the vision in the area, as Gamushi gets taken down to half health. Croco going to be knocked up here, though, as Faker turns up. They get the Circle of Frost. A very comfortable pickup for Ona, as now everyone's trying to get out. Closer desperately trying to Spirit Rush away, but he doesn't have enough charges. Dove now tagged by the very end of the Piercing Darkness. That riposte was all right, as the Abyssal Dive after the Flash Carrier desperately wanting to get all of the kills. This time around, Zeus picks it up. That's a double. They might even get an ace, as Carrier's just walking through the base of Liiv SANDBOX here at 23 minutes. Zeus is just trying to win the game. They are done with this one. T1 want to go home.
Zeus has been doing this all game long. Guys, let's just kill the buildings. Let's kill the Nexus. Let's win the game. Hey, look, successful stop of the Baron, Atlas. Yeah. They did not get the Baron.
They did not get the Baron. That's true.
They will get the Nexus, however, and they will win this series 2-0. The most dominant games of T1 so far this season, and honestly, perhaps the most dominant games we've seen across the board here. Gen.G giving them a run for their money, but